Hey guys, it is Paul from Ashen Phoenix. It is new comic book day for the week of October 16th, and we're going to get started right now. This episode brought to you by the Comic Book Store, 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey, 08028. Come buy some comics. There's comics behind me. There's comics in front of me. There's comics to the right of me. Just comics. Just lots of them.
I'm to the left of you.
Yeah, but you're not for sale.
I can be bought.
I mean, for the large enough coffee, yes, he can be bought. Let's be honest. It's a thing.
Hey everybody, Tim from Capes and Scowls. How are you? Hi Donald. Donald's not a, he's not going to leave a comment or nothing, but he watches all the time. Hi Donald. And everybody who does leave comments, be more like Donald. Wait, that's bad.
No,
no. Be nothing like Donald.
Thank you.
Be polite like Donald. Yes. He's not always polite. You know what? Forget about Donald. Let's talk about the trades. I've got Aliens vs. Predator Omnibus, the Essential Comics Volume 1. This is not. It looks just like the Predator one and the Alien one they did. Don't get them confused if you just see them on the shelf. This has Alien vs. Predator War, which I really enjoyed. So on that alone, I would recommend it. We have The Life and Death of Toyo Harada. Really cool book. We reviewed issue 1. Critical Role Vox Machina Origins from Dark Horse with those Critical Role peoples that everybody loves. Miss Marvel Volume 1. This is the Magnificent Miss Marvel series. Yep. This is the one after, what's her name? Oh man, I'm blanking. What's her name, Paul?
Captain Marvel?
No, the writer. G. Willow Wilson. We got there. Black Hammer. Streets of Spiral. I love how often this stuff comes out and it's just like this huge world, the Black Hammer universe. And I guess it's not all necessary, but if you like the universe, there's so many cool things coming out. Spider-Man City at War. You enjoyed that, right?
That was really good.
Good. We got Gogor! Gogor! Hi, Ken Gehring.
You enjoyed that?
I did. We got Snowpiercer, the prequel, Part 1, Extinction. You know what? Snowpiercer comes out so infrequently. I don't even know if this is new. I bet it's not. Well, who cares? I know this isn't new, but hey, who cares? Delicious. It's like a weird monster thing for kids. Gideon Falls, Chapter 3, The Surreal Nightmare. And then we have Star Wars TIE Fighter, which I read a little of, and I have been told it remained very strong.
All right, first up, we have X-Men issue number 1. This was okay. It's not what I was kind of expecting. We are picking up after the events of House of X, but for a first issue, it just didn't feel like it had a lot of urgency to it, and I think part of that is coming off such a large scale event that you were having a lot of expectations for this book. I do like some of the setup. I do like a lot of the stuff. Cyclops is a little annoying to me. Everybody gets a little kind of preachy towards the beginning, and it throws you off. But once you start to get the points of the story that will eventually get to where this particular book is going to be going, I'm interested to see with it. But this one just wasn't like a home run that I was expecting to be. But if you're an X-Men fan, definitely pick it up.
All right, everybody. My first book is The Marked from Image Comics. Do you remember the Visionaries in the 80s? They were little toy action figures. I think, who has them now? IDW or whatever. They're part of their Hasbro universe. But they were like little knight kind of characters. They had a little hologram on their chest, and that was like their spirit animal that could come out and fight. There was probably a cartoon. It was pretty good. This is very much like that, where you have characters that have glyphs that are cast to them, and they can use sort of powers from them, and they're fighting a whole secret threat. As an idea, it's not terrible, and as an update on what Visionaries kind of were, it's not bad either. But I truly, honestly, and I'm not trying to be a jerk here, I hated the way this book was written, and I don't want to read any more of it. And I did not enjoy the characters, and you probably won't either.
Tim made me read Spider-Man issue number 2, and I'm mad at Tim because I didn't like the first issue, and he may read the second issue. I guess he was hoping that the book got better.
It wasn't coming from a place of malice, I promise.
I think he thought that the first book may have...
I wanted you to be sure.
Okay, yes, I'm sure now. This book sucks. I'm not a fan of it. We've seen Peter lose his way. Like, I mean, you look behind us. Like, he's lost people. He's lost he's lost people that he's loved, and to see the version of Peter in this story is just irritating and annoying. And the son is just not likable. The storyline, it's just, I don't care. I don't care about it. If you are a die-hard, I must read absolutely everything Spider-Man, you still might skip this. But if you're a casual fan, yeah, you can pass.
All right, time for my next book. It's a good one.
Oh,
okay. Good one. It's Robotech Remix. I love Robotech more than most humans should. And this, if you haven't read all the Robotech that has come prior, which I believe should all be out in trade for the most part, you can read that. Here's your quick history of Robotech. To get it syndicated in America and all that, they took 3 Japanese anime, threw them together, loosely came up with a horrible way to link them together, and bam, it's Robotech. It's enough episodes to get into syndication and come to America and all that other crap. But it was 3 completely different cartoons. What this book is doing, this is the start of the second one. They are merging what happened at the end of the Macross Saga, the first part, and then adding it to this one and kind of giving it a new history. So it is new. It is new and different. Things have different outcome. The Macross War ended differently. And if you are interested in really good sci-fi that originated in Japan, check this out. I thought it was written very well. It has sort of that manga anime style to it, but it's its own thing. And there's little cool references. And your writer, which was Brendan Fletcher, gets his source material. This was a blast. If you don't know anything about Robotech, it might be a little hard to completely get all of it, but I think you can pick this up and then go back, read what has come out so far, or just kind of skim over some videos on your YouTubes, you're already there, and learn about, generally learn about Robotech. I like this book. It was pretty solid.
All right, next up we have Batman issue number 8. I promise, they're not all bad. I've been kind of negative this week. This has been a decent story, but I am not a fan of JRR. JRR, right?
Romita Jr.?
Yes. JR. The art just seemed very, very rushed. And this particular issue felt like a weird kind of setup. Like a lot of what was going on was kind of spoon-fed to you, and that's usually not something that Tom King does. This is not the best issue that I've read from him. It's not the worst, but it's kind of a weird book. Way too much of it is done off the scenes, and there's just a lot of narration that I would rather just have had like actual action in it rather than talking over the narration. It is, though, important because this is part 7 of an arc. You need to kind of read this one because there is some setup about what is going to be going on in the next couple issues. So, pick it up.
Paul, it's time for my pick of the week. You ready for it?
I hope you have one.
I have one. It's Crazy. What? I picked Crazy. And let me tell you, this book has like 7,000 artists and writers in it. If you don't remember Crazy, it was basically Marvel's version of cashing in on Mad Magazine. Actually, hold that thought. I have a random beat-up issue of Crazy right here. So there you go. This is disgusting. But this one was a lot of fun. It focused on many characters, mostly silly stories, like Wolverine getting awards for being the most overused character in all of Marvel Comics, interviews with different creators, what was it, Ziggy Seal and Silly Pig, I don't know, all these dumb characters that they keep going to. Moon Knight does show up, but by far, MODOK sea monkeys. All the ads are like parodies of the old Marvel ads, like the Hostess cream pie ad. And if you love old Marvel comics, you will love how silly and stupid this is. By far, the best parts is there's recurring stories of Man-Thing talking about how his life is so awful, his existence is sad and depressed, how he can't find love, and how awful his existence is. I laughed so hard. I was laughing out loud. I don't know if you even heard me, Paul. It was because Man-Thing is the best part of this book. And you need to read this. If you're in the mood for something funny just to get through your day, this is the one for you. I had a blast reading it. I would read more. I don't know if there's going to be more, but there should be, because we can't just have all negativity all the time, Paul.
I mean,
Paul, we can't be so negative all the time, Paul.
the next book is fine.
Paul's very negative.
I'm usually not.
He's going to tell you it's hunky-dory, but it's not.
I told you it wasn't all bad. My pick of the week is Once and Future issue number 3. The grandmother in this story may be my favorite character in comics right now. The story is basically the king is undead. It's a very interesting take on the King Arthur mythos, where you have this unwilling grandson who has basically just been thrust into the world of King Arthur, and his grandmother, who knows so much more than everybody else, and is mildly homicidal, and tends to throw guns in a lot of faces, which I'm assuming in the US is a thing, but like in the UK, I mean, obviously she's startling everybody because of all this, but she is so much fun. We're in the 3rd issue, so the zombie King Arthur, or at least a version of it, because as we find, the stories have been retold and retold that different things have happened in different stories, and because of those retellings over and over again, those have become like true and real. So there's words that are the difference between true and real are very different things in this world, and we're still trying to stop that. We're trying to stop King Arthur from cleansing the land, because cleansing the land in his terms are basically destroying everything in our terms. So like, again, difference between true and real. But this is such a fun read. Kieran Gillen just does such an amazing job on this, and Dan Mora's art is spectacular. And it's just so much fun reading it. It's a very quick read. It's very fast. It's very fluid. There's not a lot of, like, we're going to sit and talk about this kind of stuff. Everything is moving so very quickly, and it kind of has to with this type of story, because you're racing against the clock, and the writing in this really reflects that. You feel like you're being rushed. You have to get through this. You have to get this. We need to get to the next spot. We need to get to the next spot. But it doesn't feel like you're being pushed along. It means you're being kind of pulled along, and pulled along in the most awesome ways. This is such a fun read. It's very hard to get issue number 1, so you might have to wait until the first trade. But if you have been able to pick up an issue number 1, or you do happen to find one online or something like that, definitely pick up this book and read it. It is amazing.
All right, you've reached the end of our video. Thank you, everybody, for checking out the video. Paul, say thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Paul. And we will be, where are we going to be this weekend?
Baltimore Comic-Con.
We'll be in Baltimore. So if you're in Baltimore and you want to head on down to the harbor with us and get into some shady nonsense.
I mean, not that shady.
Pretty shady. Have you been to that harbor?
Yes, I have.
Hey, Baltimore. We'll be down there. We're not going to do anything shady. We're going to just annoy comic creators and Kevin Sorbo if he's there. And that's about it. But thank you,
everyone. Weird if he was there.
If
we were just like,
I'll hug
hey.
him again. That's going to be my shtick. All we do is interview Kevin Sorbo. No one else. No other celebrity. Only comic creators and Kevin Sorbo. That's a pretty good shtick. He'd get in on it.
I think you would.
He's a good hugger. I can't tell you how many odd questions I got based on that interview. Just like, is he like still ripped? Man, you like hugged him. You touched him. Was he ripped? I'm like, this is weird. And yes. But that's it. Thanks for watching the video. Go watch other videos. Hit a bell. Subscribe. I don't know. There's other things you can do on YouTube.
Definitely hit the bell.
Hit the bell so you know all the awful videos we put out, and you can watch them on a loop over and over again. The ad revenue gets me a coffee. I clearly need it by this point. And I've had coffee. I've had like 7 coffees today, and this is what I end up as. Just a horrible shell of a human being, ? So, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. You know, for what it's worth. America. I think we're done. Go away.